Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? Might be all on mute, but you can type in the chat if you can hear us. I want to make sure you can. Also, for those of you who haven't been here to a virtual visit before, make sure to introduce yourself in the chat. We'll wait maybe another 30 seconds to see if others join before we get started, but please introduce yourself in the chat and with your hometown, year in school, academic, personal interests, and then we'll get started. Okay, awesome. It looks like everyone can hear me and some people have started introducing themselves in the chat, so welcome. And we'll go ahead and get started with our virtual visit for today. So today we are doing our Explore Simpson series on SOAR, which is Simpson's orientation, and then academic advising as well, which we have done academic advising in the past. So if you joined us back in March, this may look a little familiar, but we wanted to also touch on what virtual SOAR will look like, since SOAR in June has gone completely virtual. So we wanted to make sure we kind of prepared students to see what that might look like, ask any questions at the end. But again, my name is Kylie Gottschalk. I am one of the admissions counselors at Simpson. I have Northeast Iowa and Minnesota as my territory. We also have Tracy Dinesen on the call again, and then Anna Pena as well. And Maddie Cano, who is also a counselor. She was our Assistant Director of Equity or Diversity and Inclusion and Access. She's on the chat as well. So she's managing the chat and everything. So welcome to everyone. Thank you again for joining us. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with an agenda where we'll talk about admissions information first, just some general info. Then we'll have Anna talk about SOAR, and we'll have Tracy talk about academic advising, and then we'll leave time for questions. As always, if you have questions, you can type them in the chat box at any time, and we will answer those at the end in the order that we receive them. So as a question pops into your mind, feel free to type it out, and we will answer it at the end. And at the end, you will also be able to just ask over the audio as well if you don't want to type it out. So to start, just some basic information about Simpson. A lot of you may have seen this already, but again, we open up these virtual visits to all students of any age, any class. And so we want to make sure that there's a new person joining us for the first time, we give them the information as well. So it might be a repeat for some of you, but as you may know, Simpson is a private liberal arts college, and we have about 1,200 full-time undergraduate students, and 100% of our students receive some form of financial aid. So in addition to that, we have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you have those smaller class sizes with individual attention from your professors who know your name, know your goals, and will help you, reach those goals, whether it's finding job shadows or internships, extra help on an assignment or project. So we really do take a personal approach to advising and working with students and teaching. And so that is one thing that current Simpson students really appreciate about Simpson, is that those small class sizes. So your biggest class may have 25 students. And then once you get into your major classes, it's even smaller, maybe 10 to 13 students. So you do get that one-on-one attention from professors. Okay, and then I just want to remind everyone, if you aren't muted, please mute yourself so that we can have the best experience possible and there's no background noise at all. So please make sure to mute yourself so everybody can hear what we're talking about clearly. So to move along, we have about over 80 majors and minors and pre-professional programs at Simpson, and you can combine those however you'd like. I always encourage students to think about double majoring, having a minor, a couple minors, and that's possible at Simpson. You will still graduate on time, and you will not be overloaded on coursework. It's actually a very good idea to think about that and see if there's a couple things you're interested in. If you want to major in one, minor in another, double major. I double majored in college, and I'm really happy I did. So just something to think about with all the different majors, minors, and pre-professional programs we have. You are able to do that. And 99% of Simpson graduates were employed or in graduate school within 6 months after graduation. So we have a very high success rate with preparing students for life outside of college. And so that 99% is very high compared to other schools. And so we really value and take, really really prioritize making sure that students are ready to go into the workforce or go into grad school, whatever you choose, and prepare you with internships, research opportunities, all those types of things. And so 99% is a really great rate for that. And in addition to that, we have our explorerships, our internship programs. We have a career development office. They will help you with writing your resume, cover letter, helping you find internships, job shadows, again, to prepare you for taking those things you're learning in the classroom and putting them in place out into the work world. And so again, we really emphasize preparing you in all areas and making sure you have a well-rounded education. All right, so what should you do next? So again, a lot of you may be in varying places in your admissions process. Some of you might be seniors and have decided I'm going to Simpson for sure. Might be some juniors on here who are still looking at schools, not really sure what they want to do yet. And so we want to make sure we cover all the bases. So make sure you set up an individual visit with us. Right now we're doing those over Zoom like this. So you can set up an individual visit that includes a one-on-one conversation with your admissions counselor. So people from our office. You can meet with faculty. So if you know a certain major you want to study, or if you're kind of looking at a couple, you can meet with faculty over Zoom. All of this you can normally do on campus as well. So it's not any different than if we were able to be on campus. When you're on campus, you can schedule a one-on-one individual visit and be able to meet with admissions, faculty, coaches, and anybody that's part of an extracurricular program at Simpson. You can meet with all of those people and get one-on-one attention from them and learn more about what we have to offer. So right now we're doing that on Zoom. And if you go to simpson.edu/visit, you can sign up for one of these. So highly encourage you, if you haven't, to meet with your admissions counselor, meet with faculty, coaches, and speech and debate coaches, music, theater, things like that. You can identify all those people that you want to meet with when you fill out the form online. So highly encourage you to make sure you set up an individual visit with us and then apply. So our application is online and it's free and it takes about 15 minutes to complete. So we want to make sure that, if you are interested, apply, and we usually have a decision within a couple weeks for students. So you fill out the online application, send in your official transcripts and test scores, and then that will complete your application and we'll have a decision for you in a couple weeks. Then send us your FAFSA so we can figure out your financial aid notification and what scholarships, grants, loans you qualify for. So that would be the next step after applying. And then you would pay your $200 enrollment deposit, which a lot of you have done already, probably. But once you pay that deposit, we will receive access to our online student portal, SC Connect, and you'll be able to finish the housing application or housing survey and receive more information about SOAR and signing up for a specific SOAR date. And that all happens once you pay your $200 deposit. So that's like the brief checklist of what you should do next. And also do another individual or group virtual visit, our Explore Simpson series. So this week we have this one right now. We have academic advising and SOAR. We also have finding the right fit, which is tomorrow evening, a guide to your college search. And that's for anyone who's a junior or below. If you want some help figuring out like what you should be thinking about when picking a college, because it is a major decision, definitely not an easy one. And so we want to equip students with the right things to think about when picking a college. What's important to you? What things do you value? And other things to keep in the back of your mind when you're going on visits and things like that. So if you're a junior or below, highly suggest signing up for that. That's tomorrow evening, and Maddie will be hosting that. And then on Thursday evening, we have a virtual visit that's about our religious life community on campus. We have a really vibrant and robust religious life community if you are interested in participating in those activities. So if that's something that interests you, join us on Thursday evening. And then May 20th, we have a social for the class of 2024. We have not created, we haven't really sent much out about it yet, but put it on your calendars. We just want to give space to seniors who want to meet others that will be in their class at Simpson and just get a chance to get to know each other and talk and chat. And since that's something you're missing out on with not being able to be on campus for all these events, we want to make sure that you all have the opportunity to meet each other and get to know each other better. And then again, for juniors and below, on May 27th, we have financial aid basics, it will touch on the basics of filling out FAFSA and how to, go through your financial aid. Yeah. And lastly, another thing you can do is to follow us on social media. So we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we're also on YouTube. We post all of these videos, these virtual visits on YouTube afterwards. We try to post them every Friday. So if you missed some in the past, you can watch those on YouTube, but make sure to follow us on all our other social media channels to stay up to date on things we're doing. All right, and next I'm going to pass it over to Anna to talk about SOAR.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kylie. It is nice to meet everybody, and glad you're able to join us today. My name is Anna Pena, and I have two roles on campus. One is the Director of Community Engagement, and what that means on our campus is that I coordinate and oversee all of our service programs, all of our volunteer programs. So if you've heard of the Wesley Service Scholar Program, Rotaract, those types of things. My other role on campus is the Director of First Year Experience. And so that's the role that I'm here representing today. And I'm excited to talk to you about a number of components about the first year experience. And so the first one is SOAR, and so Simpson Orientation, Advising, and Registration. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the details and logistics and things regarding SOAR and how to sign up and those types of things. But first I want to talk about the first year experience overall. So taking a step back before we dig into the how and the what and the where and the when, it's important to talk through how we approach the first year experience for students. So a couple of years ago, we put together what we call the pillars of first year experience. We hear from students, why are we doing this, or how does this connect to my educational goals, or how does this connect to my experience as a new student? And so what you'll see moving forward in your experience and coming to Simpson are our pillars of first year experience. So we have 4 pillars. These are things that we want students to accomplish and be prepared and ready for in the fall. So the first one is academics. So throughout your whole first year experience, really from now through the end of your first year on campus, we're going to be looking at now academic preparation and preparedness, but then during the year academic success, balancing your coursework, right, course selection, registration, major minor exploration, etc. Another component is our social, and so it's great to see that there's a social that's coming up, and this is an important part of the first year experience. The number one thing that students are worried about when coming to college is making new friends. The number one thing that students are excited about is making new friends, and so it's important for us to develop and create exciting and fun things to do that you can meet new friends, get to know new people, and develop those peer interactions, those social interactions. Our connections is connecting you with resources on and off campus. And throughout this whole first year experience during the summer component, spring, summer, and during the whole year, we're going to connect you to resources on campus, but also resources off campus in relation to internships or volunteer experiences, or even potential part-time jobs or future full-time job opportunities. But we connect our students to resources. And the fourth component is development. And so the first year, really starting now in your senior years that you're in and going into the first year in college, is a lot of the development and growth. So a lot of learning about yourself, learning about how you fit into the Simpson community, what your strengths are, what your areas of growth. And so there's a whole lot of development that happens and discovery. And so we have a component and really intentional at exploring development with the first year experience. So now you may say, how does this connect to SOAR? So SOAR is really our first kickoff part of the first year experience. And so we have moved our SOAR, so they were in person on campus SOAR days, are now going to be virtual SOAR. So Simpson Orientation, Advising, and Registration. So the dates are June 11th, 12th, 15th, and 16th. And so if you've already registered, you have completed the SOAR form, selected a date, you're already in an SC 101 section, all of these things are probably ringing a bell. If you haven't, if sounds like I'm not sure what that is, or I haven't done that yet, once you've deposited and received your information to log into SC Connect, you log into SC Connect, go into My Action Items, and complete the SOAR form. Within the SOAR form, there's opportunities to select the date and dates. We encourage you to pick all the dates that you're available of those 4 dates. We will assign you a date. So there will be a specific date that you're going to participate in SOAR. And then you'll also be able to select your preference for what we call SC 101 sections. And I know Tracy's going to talk more about the advising component and then how that connects to your first year experience. But what's important to know about your SC 101 section and completing the SOAR form is you want to make sure that you look at the courses that are available and open for the day that you can attend. And so all of that is within the form. So we want to make sure that you're sharing a preference, signing up for the section, the course that we have availability for that day. So now you may be asking, if it was me, I'd be thinking, what is this going to look like? What am I going to do on a virtual SOAR? How is this all going to work? We're going to be sharing a lot more information over the coming weeks on exact schedule, how to log in, all of that information. But what we want you to know is that you are going to still have an opportunity to meet with your advisor. You're going to have a virtual opportunity, not a recorded engagement interaction, but an individual interaction that you're going to have with your advisor to talk through exploration around courses, to feel that you're prepared to register for courses. You're going to still meet other students that are in your section. You're going to meet other students that are a part of the day, again, in a virtual format, but you're going to have that social component where you're going to get to know other students that are in your section. You're going to be prepared. We're going to get you set up with things like IT to make sure that you have the technology that you need to be able to register for classes. And you will still be able to register for fall classes on your SOAR day. Each student is going to have a customized individual schedule. So it's important that when you do sign up for SOAR that you attend as much as possible, attend the day that you sign up, because you will have a customized individual schedule for that day. And we'll be sharing more information about what that schedule looks like and how that works as the next couple of weeks continue. And that's really part one of our SOAR experience this summer. So that's focusing on the A and the R of SOAR. So our A is advising and the R is registration. But the O is really the connections piece. And so over the summer, we're going to have a series of interactions potentially similar to this. It may be a combination of live sessions, small group sessions, town hall style sessions, so potentially some recorded videos for you to view and respond to. A series of orientation over the summer so that we are going to make sure that you are prepared and ready for campus in the fall. So when you have questions related to housing, to security, to counseling, to health services, to academic support, et cetera, we are going to provide that information over the course of the summer. And we're going to be providing you information in a number of different formats to make sure that you're prepared and we're available as that resource for you. So you'll be able to create connections, put faces to names. So hopefully, as you've seen emails from me or seen my name, that put faces with names, register for fall classes, and then start to create the networks over summer. So although you're not going to have that in-person SOAR experience, you're going to be connected and prepared and excited for classes to start in the fall. I am available as a resource today to answer questions. So if you've got questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I know that there's going to be an opportunity at the end to answer questions, but please know that I am a resource through this whole experience. My email address and name are in most locations on SC Connect on your welcome page. You can send me an email, ask me questions about getting connected to resources, getting information about schedules. If you have questions about really anything during this first year experience, I, as well as your admissions counselors, are resources for you to make sure you feel prepared and ready for classes in the fall. All right. Any questions in the chat that I can answer now before we transition to our academic advising with Dr. Dinesen? All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. And yeah, now we'll pass it over to Tracy Dinesen.
All right, it is so wonderful to see you all, to see names of people that I have sent confirmations to for SOAR, you've picked your SC 101, some of them are you're still in that process. This is just the very beginning of welcoming you into our Simpson community and getting everything started for you. So when we're talking about advising, as you know, or you've been able to tell, your first year advisor is definitely going to be your SC 101 instructor. Here, we all come in undeclared as students into this situation. When you come into college, you're going to have to take the time to explore, thinking about what maybe you want to major in. You might already have an idea, but let's see what that's like at the collegiate level. And then you might be completely undecided and exploring. Your advisor, who is your SC 101 instructor, is going to help you through that entire process, okay? Um, the other piece of this is to know that advising is so much more than just registration. So throughout your entire year, throughout the summer, we're going to be getting to know you even more. We want to know about your personal strengths. We want you to explore those. We want you to be thinking about your talents and possible career goals. How are you going to help serve your future community through your education and become an integral part of that community? So that's part of that advising conversation and that building and that development that Anna was talking about that's essential as part of our first year experience program. Your advisor is definitely going to encourage you to try new experiences and go out of your comfort zone into different academic areas because you never know where you might actually end up. I have many students who end up double majoring, first in the thing that they thought they would be passionate about, and then something they discover through general education and other experiences. There are people who have all of these great experiences through service or study abroad, undergraduate research during their first and second years at Simpson that really then changes their path forward. And that's part of the benefit of coming in undeclared. So we're going to help you through that process. And then your advisor is also going to be your primary contact and mentor on the academic side as you transition into Simpson, start choosing a major, become that first year student, and then move into that second year and transfer on to a major advisor or add that person into your support network. This summer, Anna and I are working together and we're going to be welcoming you into the community, getting to know all of your SC 101 advisors, getting to know other people who are going to be part of that essential cohort and developing those relationships. But you're going to have specific kinds of questions and needs. I can tell you right now, you're probably not thinking about what the first day of classes or what your classes are going to be like. You're thinking about the transition and moving in and all of those types of things of what it's going to be like in the fall. So we're going to give you the information that you need at the time that you really want to start dealing with all of that information. So pieces of that is definitely during SOAR, like Anna said, you're going to meet with faculty in your interest areas. It's definitely a virtual event. I want you to think about it as like a virtual speed dating for departments. You're going to be able to go around, talk to people, get to know what's going on in the major, talk to the faculty members, and then start thinking about what are those first courses that I might want to take. You're going to really connect with your ST 101 advisor. Your Simpson colloquium leader is going to be a part of this experience as well. You're going to get to know other people that are a part of your course. Now, there are 5 people per day for each SC 101 section during the SOAR events, but you'll get to know other people in your course throughout that summer. And your SC 101, the entire cohort, you'll be part of some type of group chat through social media as well. Your SC 101 leader is going to help with a lot of that. You're going to learn about some of the supports and programs that we have on campus during SOAR. You'll be getting a lot of this information in addition over the summer, but you also need to know that your academic advisor has all this information. So you might learn about something or hear about something that you're just not ready to deal with, and that is completely fine. Your advisor and your SU 101 leader are going to be able to help you make those connections throughout the year because those connections to resources are essential to your success. And as Anna said, you're going to have an individual meeting with your SU 101 advisor. We're going to talk about what are your strengths and your interests. You're going to be giving us information in a pre-SOAR survey that should be coming to you soon about what kinds of things you've done before, what you are enjoying, where you think you might be going. And then we're going to sit down and talk about what are some possible ideas. You bring your ideas to the table, the advisor will also bring their ideas to the table, and then you're going to have a conversation and kind of negotiate what that daily schedule is going to look like so that you have an idea of what courses you'll be taking throughout your first semester. I can tell you that most students will take 4 credit classes during their first semester. Sometimes they'll take 3 classes. It just depends on if you're a fall student athlete and you're in the middle of season. Some of those things make a difference. If you're a music performance or vocal performance major, you're going to have many more credits because you've got small chunks of classes and all of those things, and you've got involvement in lessons and ensembles. All of those things are adding up in as far as credit hours, but it's definitely a manageable schedule. Your advisor is going to be one of those people to help you manage that schedule and figure out, how do I become a college student and how do I deal with all of those things? So that's going to be part of that SOAR day, is just really figuring out those logistics. I'm gonna move to the next one. Okay. So in preparation for this advising appointment and getting ready for, creating your schedule, what are things that you can do? Well, you already have been telling us in your SOAR forms about what you think your possible area of interest would be. What it could be a possible future career for you. How are you thinking about doing that? We also know that you could be preparing for a career or thinking about something that's really not defined yet. I mean, you can have multiple careers throughout your entire life. And so you could be preparing for something like maybe you want to manage AI, artificial intelligence, be a robot manager, those types of things. There's all kinds of interesting things. We're going to help you kind of come up with a path on the way there. So bring a list of your areas of interest with you, possible classes that you've thought about, or that things that you know you really want to be involved in. If you don't really know because you're really undecided, you just know you want to learn a lot, your advisor is also going to have suggestions. So, don't be afraid or thinking that you're going to go walk into this appointment and you know absolutely nothing and that, your advisor is not going to have any ideas and you're not going to get a schedule. I promise by the end of the session, you're going to have a schedule and you'll have classes that I think that you'll be excited about. Know that we're trying to explore a wide variety of areas. You'll have your SC 101. You'll generally have a first course in an area of interest or of a major in that way. And then we're going to have you explore in other areas as well. So know that that's part of this process. And it's definitely a collaborative effort. Okay, we are going to ask that it's you who helps create this schedule. We're going to ask parents to and guardians to not be involved in this process because you are the one who is going to be living the schedule and trying to figure these things out. It's definitely something that you want to be excited about. And so this is one of those big first decisions that I think that you're going to be making on your own, which is be a good one. Okay. And I think really it's just now a matter of what questions of things that you might have for Anna, Kylie, and I. How can we help you and how can we help you get ready for SOAR and knowing that we're going to be sending more details your way.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tracy. So feel free to type any questions you have in the chat box. If you want to just say them over audio, you have the ability to unmute yourself. But the chat box should be at the bottom or the top of your screen. If you don't see it, it just says chat. If you click on that, the chat box will pop up. So feel free to type any questions or just say them.
So I see, will there still be a parent version of SOAR? So I'm going to let Anna take this.
Yes, there is definitely going to be information that we are going to be providing with parents. There's a lot of information that's specific for parents related to when we're looking at conversations related to financial assistance and business office and specific components related to housing. And so there will definitely be an orientation for parents. It'll likely look like a combination of some of the in-person SOAR on day of, as well as ongoing orientation over the summer. We encourage families to still have those days earmarked as we are looking at building out those schedules and hopefully being able to meet with the advisor on the day, potentially financial assistance. And so encourage families, parents, guests, if it's a guardian or others that were planning on attending the in-person SOAR to continue to earmark that day, as we'll have information, some information for families and guests on the day of.
Great question, Jaden. Thank you. Oh, another one. Will there still be a parent? Oh, how do I transfer my credits from DMAC to Simpson? Do I need to do this before SOAR?
So when we're talking about transfer of credits, you can go ahead and request a transcript from DMAC. So as soon as those courses and things are finalized on the DMAC side and they've got the transcript updated, they can send that to Simpson. If we receive that fairly quickly, then that information could already be in your degree audit and we could already have the equivalencies taken care of. I help facilitate that process. So almost all of those things go through my desk to make sure that we're getting you credits in different ways in different areas. You don't have to do that before SOAR. It's helpful if you can, but we also know that sometimes they might be behind on things. So the go ahead and make the request contingent on your final grades being posted, and know that we will receive it as soon as DMAC has it, and we'll also inform you as soon as that information's been updated in your degree audit.
Thank you. We also have a question about when will they know about housing?
Historically, housing information has been shared in July, and so that is as a timeline that we're looking at again, with all changes and with all updates and things related to coronavirus and things. We'll keep you up to date, and we'll keep that information. But historically, it's provided and mailed in July.
And I see another one here about health forms. So health forms are things that I know, like with COVID-19, everything's in flux. We're definitely going to want some of those forms, but those forms don't have a firm due date in the sense that you have to have them in on the SOAR date or any of those things. You can actually be turning those in all the way up until and through move-in. So know that that gives us some time. It can be basic information. It doesn't have to be, you know, a whole full-on physical on top of everything else. So just kind of keep some of those things in mind. And that health form would go, it's going to go to student development. And we can go ahead and make sure we get all of that information in. If we're missing that form, you're going to be informed of that. Anna does a fantastic job of letting you know what kinds of forms and things need to be done. It's also in your SC Connect welcome page.
Awesome, thank you. I forgot to mention this before we answer Tyra's question. Forgot to mention to have you all rename yourself on here, just because some people just have their first name, or you know, it might be a parent joining, or you might be joining on someone else's Zoom. So I want to make sure you rename yourself just so we can keep track of who attended accurately. So if you click on participants and hover over your name, there's a blue button that says more. If you click down on that, you can rename yourself. So please put your first and last name. That'd be very helpful to us. Sorry I didn't tell you all in the beginning, but we'd appreciate it if you could do that. Thank you so much. And yeah, now we can answer Tyra's question. I sent in my work study form. How do I know if you guys have received it? That is a financial aid question. But, and so yes, if you sent that in to us, we have on the back end, you know, they can see, we can see if we have received that. So reach out to your admissions counselors individually, and they can, you know, help you more with that. Or you can reach out to, you know, financial aid if you're worried about that they didn't receive it. But if you mailed it in to us, we have it. So just, I would, if you want to confirm, reach out to financial aid specifically, or your admissions counselor, and we can help you with that.
So
how many people are in SC 101?
So when you're talking about your Simpson Colloquium courses, these are designed to be a smaller cohort of courses. So you're going to have between, you know, 18 to 19 students in each one of those sections. And the thing to remember is you've got these other students that are in the first year, just like you. You're going to have your advisor. You'll have a writing fellow who'll be there to help you with the written communication component of the course, learning how to be that collegiate writer. And you're also going to have a Simpson Colloquium leader who is an amazing resource to help you with those connections, you know, time management, study skills, getting to know different events and people on campus. But as far as students, 18 to 19 is generally where we end up. And so just know that some of the courses are already, you know, sitting right there. You guys are doing a great job of filling out your forms. So
I would also add with our SC, our Simpson Colloquium leaders, we call them SC leaders. If we see SCL, that's all an acronym. They're going to be reaching out to you here soon. So you're going to hear from them before SOAR. So if you hear from a student and you haven't heard from them before, haven't met them, those are SC leaders, and they're going to be reaching out to share more information with you and to be a resource. So stay tuned, you'll meet them sooner than later and get connected to your SC leader and even potentially some other students in your section before the SOAR day.
Awesome, great questions, everyone. Are there any final questions before we end the meeting for the day? Feel free to type them out, say them over the audio.
The only thing I would add is that SC 101 and the intake of this, you know, summer orientation leading up, the bonds that you build, you know, always rises to the top of satisfaction of our students as one of the most memorable things that they have at Simpson College. They really like their SC 101 cohorts. I have taught SC 101 many times, and I have to tell you that, you know, this is where you're going to make some really good fast friends and really make those connections within this cohort with your SC leader and through other first-year students. It's just a great way to integrate into campus. So you'll be in good hands, and it's going to be, you're going to be very, very involved. Is there a specific schedule for this virtual SOAR? There will be, right?
There will be a very specific schedule. So you will have a customized, and we'll share more information about access to an app and access to the specific schedule. But each student will have a customized, very specific schedule, and we will have links to take you exactly where you need to be to meet with advisors, to register, to meet with your section. It's in the process of being determined and moved into a virtual format, and so anticipate that we'll have that to you mid-May, mid to end of May. We'll have your specific schedule. At this point, earmark the day, hold the during the day, and we'll have more specific timelines and schedule to you as soon as we can. You're welcome.
Great questions, everyone. All right. If there are any questions, type them in. Otherwise, we're gonna move along. And I just want to remind everyone to follow us again on social media. This will be posted on YouTube. So if you want to watch it again, you know, if you're like, I kind of forgot what they said about this, and rewatch it, feel free to. We have all of these on YouTube for you to access at any time. If your parents have questions about things, they can watch them. So again, just follow us on social media to stay up to date on everything. Pay attention to your emails. You will be getting emails from Anna and Tracy regarding all these questions about, schedules and things like that. So just hang tight with us, and, ask us questions whenever you have them. Like Anna and Tracy said, we are here for you. Your admissions counselor is here for you, and we want to help make this process as seamless and easy to understand as possible. So reach out to us at any time by email or phone. We're all working from our homes, but we are available. So we are here for you all to help you out in any way. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Tracy and Anna, for joining us. I hope this information was really helpful for everyone, explained everything clearly, and join us for another virtual visit. Thank you all. Bye.